إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid deen. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Today is our class number 7. In this class, we'll continue the lesson number 3 of New Medina Book 3. We had almost finished the lesson. We did finish the lesson last week. Before let's do a quick recap of what we have learned so far in lesson number 3. What are the things that we have learned so far? What are the new rules that we learned in this lesson? Quite interesting rules. We have learned 3 rules, isn't it? One is about adad, the numbers from 11 to 20, right? And then we have also seen the rule about lakinna, right? And what was the other one? Ka'anna, right? So lakinna and ka'anna, they both function as the same way as the inna because they are the sisters of inna. Okay, but just the meaning differs. Lakinna means but and ka'anna means as though, right? And what do? The inna and its sisters, they enter upon jumla ismiya and make the mubtada go to nasab state, and then it becomes ismu inna, and then we have the khabru inna. So like that, lakinna and ka'anna will function the same way. Okay, so that is one thing we saw. And last week we learned another new rule. What was that? What was it about? Ismu taftil, right? Ismu taftil. So taftil means superiority, making someone superior over someone. Again, we discussed that superior doesn't mean anything related to rich or poor, but it is a kind of comparison. Okay, comparison either between two people or one against many. Okay, so that is about ismu tafdil. That is the same thing which we say as comparative and superlative in English, right? So what is a pattern of ismu tafdil? On which pattern does the ismu tafdil come? What is a pattern for masculine? Ismu tafdil pattern for masculine? Af'alu pattern. Excellent. Af'alu pattern. Okay. Okay. And this pattern can come for comparative and superlative both, correct? The same pattern is used. Okay. And then for the feminine, for the mu'annas, what will we use? Fu'ala. Very good. Okay, fu'ala. This is af'alu is for mudhakkar, wahid mudhakkar, and fu'ala is for wahid muannas. Next, we saw that there are three ways in which the ismu tafdil is used, correct? Three ways to use ismu tafdil. Yes. So shall we discuss what are the three quickly? Let's do a quick recap. So what is the first way that ismu tafdil is used as? First one is if it is for comparative. How will you know it is for comparative? That is, it will come with af'alu plus the ismu tafdil pattern plus min, with harf jar min. Very good. So whenever ismu tafdil pattern comes with min, the harf jar min, then it will be for comparison. Okay. The subject of comparison will come before. Okay, isn't it? The person whom you're comparing will come here, subject of comparison, and the one with whom you're comparing, the object of comparison, will come at the end. Okay. So Bilal is taller than Hamid. Okay, Amina is shorter than Fatima. So like that. Okay, so you have two people in comparison. When it comes to the second usage, the ismu tafdil pattern will come as what? Mudaf. Ismu tafdil as mudaf. When ismu tafdil comes as mudaf, in what meaning will it come? It will come as superlative. It will come in the meaning of superlative. Okay, he's the tallest. Hamid is the tallest student in the class. Okay, Amina is the most brilliant student in the class. So like that. Okay, so that is about when ismu tafdil comes as mudaf, it will come in the meaning of superlative. All right. Now, what is the third usage of ismu tafdil that we saw? Third usage, ismu tafdil as coming as naat with al, right? Okay, so we learned that it comes with al, ismu tafdil with al. Yes, you're right. So when ismu tafdil comes with al, it will come as naat, right? So it will have a man'ut, and the ismu tafdil that is with al will come as the naat. So the man'ut and naat will match it in 4 properties. So they both will be matching in all 4 properties. Okay, so that is about the 3 usages of ismu tafdil. And also we saw when it comes to the comparative, when af'alu pattern, the ismu tafdil pattern is coming with min. What is the pattern that that you'll be using? Only wahid muzakkar pattern, right? Whenever it is with min, you will always use the wahid muzakkar pattern. Okay, and then when it was for ismu tafdil as mudaf, then what will you do? You had two subtopics under it. That is, you will depending on the mudaf ilayhi, you will use the mudaf, right? That is the ismu tafdil, whether it will be wahid or jama or whatever it is, you will decide by looking at the mudaf ilayhi, isn't it? If the mudaf ilayhi is nakira, then what will happen? First, we'll discuss about marifa. If the mudaf ilayhi is marifa, then the mudaf can match with the subject of comparison or need not match. You have a choice. Okay, but if it is nakira, but if the mudaf ilayhi is nakira, then you will use wahid muzakkar, right? Do you all remember the rules? Yes, that is very important. And then also about ismu tafdil, when it comes as naat, this is very easy. That is, if the manut is wahid, then the naat will be wahid. If the manut is tasniya, then the naat will be tasniya. So here the ismu tafdil pattern will take the wahid and the tasniya and the jama patterns based on the manut. So that's how you'll be doing the 3 cases of ismu tafdil. Now, before we proceed on to the remaining exercises that we are left with, I just want to quickly go through the last part of your lesson, which is this conversation, this which Ali is saying that Ali is responding to Ahmed's question, which of the hostels is the best, which of the two is the best. So here, this answer which Ali is giving, we will just go through it quickly, because I think it would not be correct if we don't actually admire at the Ismu Tafdeel properly and just proceed quickly. Okay, so last week we just rushed off, so let's do it quickly, and then okay, and we'll start the exercises and try to complete the lesson. Yes, I want you all to participate, inshallah. Let's see. So Ali is saying al-mahjaw qamis ahsanu fa innahu ghurfahu awsa'u. Let's do it till here. So al-mahjaw is the hostel. Okay, the fifth hostel. Ahsanu is, it could be, is better, that it could be better or best, isn't it? Because afalu pattern, here we have afalu pattern, which is the ismu tafdil, but what meaning is it being used here? That is what we have to ponder upon, right? So if you see here, it is not with al, so it is so the third option is gone. Okay, so and if you see, there's no mudaf ilayhi to it here, isn't it? Mudaf ilayhi cannot be hidden. You cannot make a mudaf ilayhi mahzoof. Okay, so if there is a mudaf and mudaf ilayhi, you have to have it. Okay, so it cannot be the second option also. What are we left with? The first option, that is that which comes with min, isn't it? So here, because the muta'allif can be hidden. Okay, so the min along with its noun, the ism majroor which comes, it can be mahzoof sometimes, okay, as per the requirement. So here, that is the only option that we are left with, isn't it? So what will be the comparison, the object of comparison? Min. What will come here? The fifth hostel is better, ahsanu min, better than the. Now the comparison is between the mahja' samin, the eighth hostel, and the fifth hostel, isn't it? So we are saying al-mahja' al-khamis ahsanu min al-mahja'i al-mahja' samin. Okay, al-mahja' samin. Okay, so that will be the hidden mahzoof here. That is the min plus the object of comparison. Is it clear to all? Because the whole sentence that we are going to look at, it all depends upon what is mahzoof here. That is very important for us to understand. Is it clear to all? Next, if you see here, fa innahu ghurfahu awsaw. So this is another sentence, another jumla ismiya here. But before we go to the next jumla, if you see here, al-mahjaw is mubtada. Yes, and al-khamis is what? The naat of this mahjaw, and ahsanu is the khabar. Okay, ahsanu is the khabar, and this is a ismu tafdil pattern. So you will have the min al-mahja is samin after it, and the jar majroor will be what? Muta'alliq of the khabar. Okay, so that is the first jumla ismiya, that is over till here. Then you have fa harfu ataf, and then inna. Fa has different usages, but right now we'll keep it as ataf, and we'll learn it later on. What are the different purposes of fa? Okay, it is a harf, and here we'll use it as harfu ataf. Okay, inna. We have seen inna already, inna wa akhwatuha. So after inna, what should we look for? Ismu inna. So ghurfa is ismu inna. How do we know? Because this ism is in nasab state. Okay. So ghurfa is ismu inna wa huwa mudaf, and who is mudaf ilayhi? Awsa'u is khabru inna. But here again, awsa'u is what? Ismu tafdil pattern. So it can, very good, it can either be superlative or comparative in meaning, correct? So what can we give here? What can we make this awsa'u as? Which of the three ways will be applied here? Indeed, it's rooms. Ghurafun is the plural of ghurfatun. Ghurafun is the plural of ghurfatun. Okay, so indeed it's rooms. That is, this who is referring to what? The fifth hostel, isn't it? We are saying that the fifth hostel is better than the eighth hostel. That is what is the first sentence. And then we are saying, indeed, its rooms are wider. So this who is referring to the fifth hostel. Okay. So indeed, its rooms are wider than the eighth hostel, isn't it? So again, min al minal mahja is samin will come, is mahzuf here. So here al minal mahja is samin is mahzuf again, which will be the muta'alliq of the khabru inna. All right. Next we have again the waw harfu ataf. Nawafizahu akbaru. Its windows are bigger. Yes, bigger than the eighth hostel. So again, nawafiza is the plural of nafizatun. Nawafiza is the plural of nawafizun means windows, which is a plural of nafizatun. And who is what referring to the mahja'il khamis, the fifth hostel. Okay. And then akbaru, this will be, what meaning will it come? Superlative or comparative? And which of the three ways is the ismu tafdil pattern used here? It is coming with min or mudaf, or what is it? Murakkab tawsifi. If it was murakkab tawsifi, then al should have been here, right? Yes, it is min with, here the min is hidden along with the object of comparison. Why? It will not be murakkab tawsifi. Why? Because there's no al on it. And moreover, there is no manut also. There's no al on it and there's no manut also, right? So that option is gone. And if it is mudaf, then there's no mudaf ilayhi, because mudaf ilayhi can never be hidden. Okay. The only thing, the option that we are left with is the min and the object of comparison. Okay. So we are saying its windows. That is again, this who is referring to the mahja'il khamis. Okay, that is its windows means the fifth hostel's windows are bigger than the eighth hostel. Can you see the comparison, how it is going on? Okay. And here if you see nawafiza, it is in nasab state because of this wow, this sentence is ataf upon the previous sentence. Okay. So the function of this inna is being carried on in the next sentence. That is why this will be again ismu inna, and this will be the khabru inna, and the jar majroor, that is a min mahja'il khamis, which is mahzuf here, will be the muta'alliq of the khabar. Okay. When the actual khabar is present, then the jar majroor will be what? Muta'alliq of the khabar. Okay. If the actual khabar is hidden, then the jar majroor will take the will act like a khabar. That is, it will be muta'alliq of the mahzuf khabar, isn't it? Okay, because the actual khabar is present in the sentence, we'll say jar majroor muta'alliq of the khabar. And if the khabar is mahzuf, then what will we say? Jar majroor muta'alliq of the mahzuf khabar, right? So always the jar majroor is related. Muta'alliq means, remember, muta'alliq means related information. Okay, so whenever jar majroor comes in a jumla ismiya, you will either say it is muta'alliq of the khabar, and if the khabar is mahzuf, you will say it is muta'alliq of the khabar mahzuf. Is this point clear to all? Alhamdulillah, good. Wa marahidahu anzafu. Okay. Marahida is the toilets. Okay. So now this is the plural form. The singular is mirhadun. You have learned this in one of your earlier lessons. Okay. And you started book 1. You have this word mirhad, toilet. Okay. And its toilets are cleaner. Anzafu is what? Is the ismu tafdil pattern of which noun? Let's test your vocabulary. Of which noun? Anzafu is the ismu tafdil pattern, isn't it? Of which noun? Actually, there will be an adjective from this, isn't it? From the adjective, this anzafu has been formed. Remember? Nazifun. Yes? Nazifun. Nazifun is the adjective. Yes? From this, we took the noon zafa and then we formed the ismu tafdil pattern. Yes? Remember, see the akbaru pattern? In your notes, what was the first point that we learned? That the afalu pattern will be formed from an adjective word. That is, akbaru is a ismu tafdil pattern. From which adjective did we make this? What was the word actually? Kabirun, isn't it? Kabirun. Yes? From kabirun, We took the root letters kaf, ba, and ra, and we put on the pattern of akbaru, and then we got the ismu tafdil pattern. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, and this one ahsanu from hasanun. Okay, hasanun, we took the ha, sin, and mim, and we made it the ismu tafdil pattern based on afalu pattern. Right. So here, coming back to our sentence again, if you notice here again, this is waw of ataf, so the effect of inna will be carried on here. How do we know that? Because of the nasab state here on this noun, marahida. Why is this fatah here? Because of the inna, which is having an effect here. So this again will be ismu inna, who is referring to the al-mahja il-khamis. Okay. Fifth hostel, anzafu, again min is mahzuf here with the as-samin. Al-mahja is samin, and its toilets are cleaner than the 8th hostel. Was-surura allati fihi ajmalu. Was-surura allati fihi ajmalu. Was-surura. So again, you can see it is in nasab state. The effect of inna is being carried on here. So this will be ismu inna. And before we come to the khabru inna, okay, let's discuss each word here. As-sururu is what? The plural of sarirun, isn't it? The plural of sarirun. What's the meaning of sarirun? Bed. You have this word sururun somewhere in the Quran. What do you remember with surah? It's an easy surah from the 30th juz. Sururun marfu'ah. Anybody? Suratul Ghashiyah. Okay. So sururun, the beds. Okay. Was surura, the beds. Allati, that which. Okay. Now, why is this? The word surura is jama, but if you see allati is wahid, isn't it? Tell me, what is the position of allati? Allati is ismul mawsul, but if it comes in, it is being placed after being placed in this sentence. What is the position that this word allati is taking here? This is the naat of as-sururu, isn't it? The beds, that which. Okay, the beds, that which. So it is describing this. Allati is describing the beds, right? The beds which are in it. Okay, so this is the naat of as-surura. But why is it wahid? Naat should match with the man'ut in all 4 properties, right? Man'ut is jama and this is singular. Remember the rule of kullu jama muannas? When the noun is, because the man'ut is the plural of ghair aqil, jama of ghair aqil, then whatever we point towards it, whatever we refer towards it will be wahid muannas. Remember? So this naat is pointing towards a noun which is, yes, it is the jama of jama ghair aqil. So it will be the rule of kullu jama muannas will be applied here. That's why we are using allati. Okay, always keep revising the rules that you have learned, right? Okay, and the best thing about Madina books is that the author will gradually include everything that you have learned. That is the best thing about these books. Okay, yes. So allati is the naat. Okay, next, after ismul mawsul, what should you have? What will you look for? Like, for example, after mubtada, surely you look for a khabar, right? After manut, you look for a naat. Excellent, for silatul mawsul. So what about the silatul mawsul? Your answer is correct, silatul mawsul, but can you tell me where is the silatul mawsul here? Silatul mawsuf is mahzuf, isn't it? And this why are we saying silatul mawsul is mahzuf? Because remember the point, one point is after ismul mawsul there should be a silatul mawsul, that is for sure, but only a jumla can be silatul mawsul. Only a jumla can be silatul mawsul. Is there a jumla after this ismul mawsul? No, you only have jar majroor. You don't have jumla ismi or jumla failure, isn't it? So you will say that the silatul mawsul is mahzuf, and this jar majroor will be the muta'alliq of the silatul mawsuf, mahzuf. Is this point clear to all? After ismul mawsul there should be a silatul mawsul. Okay, and the silatul mawsul can only be a jumla. Only a jumla can be a silatul mawsul. Okay, so if you have only a jar majroor after the ismul mawsul, you will say the silatul mawsuf is mahzuf, and this jar majroor is the muta'alliq of the mahzuf silatul mawsul. That's it. All right. Now can you see you have completed, I mean, the part till here. So this allati is what? The naat of this. And when you say allati is the naat of this manut, you're talking about, you're giving the position individually. Okay, you're saying ismul mausul is the naat, but the allati word in itself, it doesn't give a complete meaning, isn't it? You need to have a silatul mausul after it. In meaning, the silatul mausul will be attached to the, in meaning it will be attached to the ismul mausul, right? So when you're saying this is the naat, it means the whole thing, but you will not say the whole thing is the naat, you will just say allati is the naat. All right. So next, what will be the position of ajmalu then? What will be the position of ajmalu here in the sentence? What is the only thing left for us to find? Always while doing grammar, I feel like, we are detectives finding for something. Yeah. Right. So as-surura was mubtada, right? So we still have to find the khabar. What is the only word which is in rafa state? One word, marfu khabar, that's it. This is the khabar. And this is the khabar, okay? So if we have to see like an overall view, the sentence is over, but since this is a ismu tafdil pattern, every little thing counts. So ajmalu, we know that it is ismu tafdil pattern, and we have to see that which of the three ways it has been used here. Again, the minal mahja'is samin is mahzoof here, which will be the muta'alliq of the khabar. Okay, so the bets that which are in it. So this he refers to what? The fifth hostel. Okay, are better than the eighth hostel. Sorry, are beautiful. Okay, are more beautiful than the eighth hostel. That's it. So I hope that is clear to all. It was a small, it was just a reply given by Ali, but we learned so many things here, right? So that's what we could not capture the whole essence of this sentence last week. So I thought it is better we will do it repeat again. So I hope you all are clear on the topics, or all these topics that you learned so far in lesson 3. Is it clear to all? Yes, Alhamdulillah. Next, so the exercises 1 and 2, as always, we discussed last week, it is for you all to do. Okay, so exercise number 3 is what we have to start now. So I want you all to participate in this. Yes, so what do we have to do here? اقرأ المثالين الآتيين لاسم التفضيل. Okay, read the following examples of اسم التفضيل. We just have to go through the examples which they have given. Let's see. Hashimun tawilun wa hamidun atwalu minhu. What is the translation? I hope all of you are reading in Arabic along with me and translating. Okay. So Hashim is tall. Okay. Wa hamidun atwalu minhu. And Hamid is taller than him. Yes. So these are two separate jumla ismiyas. All these things I think are going on simultaneously in your mind. Like when you read the sentence, this is a simple jumla ismiya, Hashimun tawilun. If you're able to translate it correctly, it means you know the analysis of the sentence correctly. Okay, you don't have to worry much about it. Alhamdulillah. You all are a pro now in jumla ismiya, mashallah. So here again you have Hamid is mubtada, atwalu one word khabar, and minhu will be the muta'alliq, jar majrur will be the muta'alliq of the khabar. That's it. Next sentence, Aminatu saghiratun wa Zainabu asgharu minha. Amina is saghiratun, young. Okay, Amina is small, Amina is young. Wa Zainabu asgharu minha, and Zainab is younger than her. Okay, smaller than her or younger than her. Hazal kitabu ashalu min zaka. Next sentence, this is for us to start doing. Okay, let's see if everyone participates. Come on. Hazal kitabu ashalu min zaka. So this book is easier than that, right? So haza is a mubtada, al kitabu is what is the position of al kitab? What is the position of al-kitab here? Badal. Yes. Ashalu is the khabar, one word khabar, and min zaka is what? Jar majrur muta'alliq of the khabar. Okay. Next sentence. Hazihi sayyaratu ajmalu min tilka. This car is more beautiful than that. Okay. Can you see here the object of comparison in the first sentence, since it was mudhakkar, al-kitab. Okay. And the subject of comparison is al-kitab. And here we are comparing the book with another book, right? So this book is easier than that, means we are talking about another book. So we use zaka here. Okay. And here we are talking about a car. We are talking about two cars. This car is beautiful, more beautiful than that. So here you're using tilka. Can you notice all the things that are going on in the sentence? Yes. So hazihi mubtada, as-sayyaratu is the badal, ajmalu is one word khabar, and this is a ismu tafdil pattern, as you can see, which is coming in the meaning of comparative because you have the min after it. Okay, min tilka will be the jar majroor muta'alliq of the khabar. Next, you have hamzatu akbaru minni sinnan. Sinnan means ear, ears. So Hamza is bigger than me. What do you say? In age. Okay, sinnan is about the age, so he's bigger than me in age. So Hamza will be the mubtada. Akbaru is what? One word khabar. Minni jar majroor. Sinnan is what? What will be the position of sinnan? Why is it in nasab state? Let's see who gives the answer. This will be the tamyiz, isn't it? So if you don't have this sinnan, okay, Hamzatu akbaru minni. Hamza is bigger than me. Okay, bigger than me in what? In age, isn't it? So sinnan will be the tamyiz. Okay, right. So ha'ulai tullabu ahsanu min ulaika. So ha'ulai tullabu, these students are ahsanu min ulaika, are better than those. Okay. Ha'ulai, again the same, the grammatical analysis of the sentence is the same. So we'll move on to the next sentence. Baiti ab'adu anil madrasati min baitika. My house is farther, ab'adu, okay, here if you see ab'adu anil madrasati min baitika. My house is farther from the school than your house. So here the object of comparison is coming here at the end of the sentence. You have to just read the whole sentence so that you know what is the usage of ismu tafdil. Okay. So again here baiti will be, the bait will be mubtada. وهو مضاف يا متكلم مضاف إليه أبدو one word مرفوع خبر عن المدرسة jar majroor, this will be متعلق of the khabar, and also this also is jar majroor which will be متعلق of the khabar, but here you have baitika which is mudaf and mudaf ilayhi also. Okay, next sentence, huwa asgharu minna sinnan. He is younger than me in age. Okay, so this sentence is very similar to the third sentence. Okay, khatti ahsanu min khattika. So khattun means handwriting. Okay, so my handwriting, okay, is better than yours. Khatti, my handwriting, ahsanu is better, min khattika, than yours. So again a simple jumla ismiya, haza shari'u anzafu min zaka. Shari'u is what? The street. Okay, this street is anzafu, cleaner. Why am I saying cleaner, not cleanest? Because here we have min. So this street is cleaner than that. Okay. Al-labanu ahsanu min ash-shai. The milk is better than the tea. But I think most of them like tea or coffee. Yes. Small children usually drink milk. Then as they grow up, then they have a tendency to start liking the tea or coffee. Yes. So but milk is better than the tea. Okay. هذه الساعة أرخص من تلك. أرخص. have you learned this word arqasu before? From which adjective, from which naat has this word been formed? From which naat did you take the root words and form? Arqasu means cheap. Very good. So what was the adjective that we took it from? Rakhisun. Remember? You have learned this before. Very good. Rakhisun. Okay. Rakhisun. Cheap. So from that you took the root words. Okay. Ra, kha, and sad. And then you put it on the scale of af'alu. You got arqasu, which is the ismu tafdil pattern. All right. This watch, this wristwatch is cheaper than that. Okay, so that's it. This is the exercise, which was very easy. We just had to go through the ismu tafdil patterns that they have given there. So in all of the above sentences, what did you notice? All the sentences, what did you notice from going through all the sentences? What is the final thing that you learned from all of these sentences? That in this exercise, all of the sentences are coming in the meaning of comparison. Yes, all are comparative sentences. Yes, alhamdulillah. Next, fourth exercise you have already done as homework, and fifth exercise will be your homework for this week. Okay, so what do you have to do in this exercise? In the fifth exercise, iqra il amsilata. Iqra means read, amsilata means examples. Read the examples. ثم حول الجملة الآتية, then change the following sentences على غرارها مستعملا اسم التبديل, upon the pattern, fill in the blanks with on the pattern of ismu tafdil. Okay, so read the examples and change the sentences using ismu tafdil as in the examples. Okay, so first we'll read the examples and see what you have to do. Yes, Muhammadun talibun hasanun. What's the translation? Muhammad is a good student. Okay, Muhammad is a good student. Muhammadun ahsanu talibin fil fasli. What did we do? We took the first sentence and the adjective was given here. Hasanun was the adjective given here. Then we changed it into the ismu tafdil pattern and made it into what? What meaning is the ismu tafdil being used here? Which of the three usages is ismu tafdil here? Superlative. How did you know? Because it has come as mudaf. Muhammad is the best student. How will you translate ahsanu talibin? Muhammad is the best student in the class. Very good. So Muhammadun, it will be mubtada here. Okay. Ahsanu, one word, marfu khabar, wa huwa mudaf. Talibin is the mudaf ilayhi. Fil fasli jar majrur mutaliq of the khabar. That's it. Haza baytun jamilun. This house, this is a beautiful house. What is the meaning? This is a beautiful house. Okay. Haza mubtada, baytun, one word, khabar. Huwa man'ut. Jamilun is the naat of baytun. This is a beautiful house. Yes. The first sentence was what? Muhammad is a good student. So here this is a good, beautiful house. What you have to do, you will change this naat into ismu tafdil pattern. So it will be, this is the most beautiful house. This is the most beautiful house in the street. Okay. So haza mubtada, ajmal, one word, marfu khabar, wa huwa mudaf, baitin mudaf ilayhi, fi shari' will be jar majrur mutaliq of the khabar. Next example, Aminatu talibatun saghiratun. Amina is a young student. Okay. This is the jumla ismiya. Like Amina is the mubtada, talibatun is one word khabar, wa huwa man'ut, saghiratun is the naat. Next, we change it into the superlative meaning, which is Aminatu asgharu talibatin fil madrasati. Amina is the youngest student in the school. Okay. So Amina will be the mubtada, asgharu, one word, marfu khabar, wa huwa mudaf, and talibatin is what? Mudaf ilayhi. Fil madrasati will be jar majrur muta'alliq of the khabar. So these are the examples based on which you have to complete your exercises. Okay. So if you take the first one, hazihi ghurfatun saghiratun. This is a small room. This is a small room. Okay. So here, what will you change this into? This is the smallest room in our house. You have to say this is the smallest room in our house. Half of the sentence is already done for you. Okay. So you have very little to work out on. So I hope this will be easy exercise for you all. Any new words for you all? La'ibun is a player. Okay. Player. Okay. So la'ibun hasanun, good player. Rajulun faqirun, poor man. Sa'atun rakhisun, cheap watch. Okay. Darsun sahlun, easy lesson. Tabibun shahirun. What's the meaning of shahirun? Famous. Okay. Shahirun, famous. Good. Jami'atun, university. Qadimatun, old university. Okay. Madrasa. Okay. Darsun sa'abun, difficult lesson. Yes, sa'abun means difficult. Faslun wasiun, wide classroom. Faslun is a classroom and wasiun is the wide. Okay, next exercise, let's do it together. What do we have to do here? Combine each pair of the following sentences using lakinna. Okay, actually, exercise number 6 and 7 you have already done as homework. So we don't have to do that. Let's move on to exercise number 8. Exercise number 8 also, I think we have gone through, right? We've already done exercise 8. The numbers from 11 to 20, we have already done it. So let's move on to exercise number 9. Have we done this exercise before? Exercise number 9? No, right? Yes. So we'll do it together. So do you all remember the rules of numbers? Ready, all of you? So you will just write the numbers for me in Arabic. Yes, in Arabic means you can use Roman English to write. It's all right. So we just have to, the sentence is given here. We just have to write the number which is given here. Okay. But one thing you have to take into account is how will you write the number? That is very important. But when it comes to the numbers 11 to 20, we know that from 11 to 19 they are mabni, isn't it? And except for the number 12, other numbers are mabni. So it is easy for you all. You don't have to worry much about writing the numbers from 11 to 19. Yes. So Phil, firstly, 19 Taliban. This is how I can translate this. Okay. In the classroom, there are 19 students in the classroom. So 19, what should I write here? Yes, just write it in your textbooks because the sentence will be the same, only the number we will be writing it. Phil, firstly, this ata ashara. Very good. This ata ashara. Remember, in the component, the numbers from 11 to 19 have two parts, and the first part will be opposite to the tamyiz, and the second part will be matching with the tamyiz. Yes. So Taliban is muzakkar, ashara is mudhakkar. So these both will match, and this one is opposite to this. Okay. Very good. So you gave the answer before I wrote it. Very nice. Good. But the only thing now we have to see the position of this number, right? So Phil, firstly, the sentence is beginning with jar majroor. So what will be the position of this number here? What will you say? When you give the i'rab, you will write it as whole, right? So you will say this is mubtada. Yes. Mabniun ala fatha. What will you write about this? You will say this is mubtada. I write in Roman English because it saves time. Okay. So mabniun ala fatha. في محلي in the place of raf'in, isn't it? في محلي raf'in. Yes. Why? Because this is mubtada, right? Mubtada will be in rafa state. We know that. So what do we say about it? This is mubtada mabniun ala fatha fi mahalli raf'in. Okay, and also one more thing, this is mubtada muakhar, right? I forgot to mention that this is mubtada muakhar because the sentence is starting with jar majroor. This will be the mutaalliq of mahzoof khabar, and this will be the mubtada muakhar mabniun ala fatha fi mahalli raf'in. Taliban. What is Taliban? What should I write about Taliban? So I will write under it tamyiz. Okay, that's all. Other things you have to know about the tamyiz. That is, I will write only the position of the word in the sentence here, but then I should know what is the grammatical function of it. How is it functioning? All those things. That is, Taliban is tamyiz, and it should be wahid nakira, because for the numbers 11 to 20, the tamyiz will be wahid nakira, right? So all those things should be in our mind. And one more thing you can say about its i'rab, right? So tamyiz, it is mansoob bil fatha. What is showing us that this noun is in nasab state? The fatha sign is a sign of nasab, right? So you'll say mansoob bil fatha. Okay, that's it. So the first sentence is over. Next sentence, in the 15 kitaban. Okay, in the 15 kitaban, because I don't want to say the answer, I want you all to write. Okay, I have 15 books bil lughatil arabiyya, which are in Arabic language. Okay, I have 15 books in Arabic language. Wa, what is this number? And 12 books in the French language. What wa 12 kitaban bil lughatil faransiyyati. Okay, and I have 12 books in the French language. MashaAllah, the answer already has come in. So in the what do we say this? Khamsata ashara kitaban. I'm not writing. I hope you all are writing in your notes. Okay. So khamsata ashara kitaban bil lughatil arabiyyati. So this is one jumla ismiya, right? Where the sentence is again beginning with a zarf, which means it is muta'alliq of the khabar mahzoof, zarf, and the mudaf ilayhi, the zarf will be the muta'alliq of the khabar mahzoof. So what will be the position of khamsata ashara? What will you write? What will be the position of khamsata ashara? Mubtada muakhar. Very good. Mubtada muakhar mabniun ala fatha fi mahalli raf'in. Okay. Though it is mabniun ala fatha, it is fixed up. What are we saying here? Mubtada, we know its position is mubtada muakhar. Then we are saying it is mabni upon fatha. That is, whether it is rafa state, nasab state, or jar state, it will always be written with fatha, with the fathas. Okay, so we are just saying in all the three states it is mabni ala fatha. It is fixed. Its shape is fixed upon fatha. But I know according to its position, fi mahalli, that it is in the place of rafa. Mahal means what? Place. Fi, in, mahalli, in the place of rafa. Why? How do I know it is in the place of rafa? Because it is mubtada muakhar, and mubtada is always rafa. Okay, that's it. Waw is ataf, and again the number 12 is what? When you write number 12, you have to be careful. Okay, so here isna, it can either be isna ashara or isnatai ashara. Yes. If the position, so what is the position of this number here? Again, it will be mubtada muakhar, because this is the sentence which is connected by ataf. So this in the, I have 15 books in Arabic language and 12 books in, and I have. So that indi is still working on here. So you have, so this will be mubtada muakhar, which means what? Isna will come, isn't it? Isna ashara, right? Because the number 12 is what do you say, mu'arab. It is not mabni. The first part of the number 12 is mu'arab. Second part is mabni. Okay, so you'll say this part, you will say it is marfu. You will say mubtada. You will say this is mubtada muakhar. Okay, and this is marfu We know that the mubtada is marfu, right? Marfu bil alif. The alif is the sign of rafa here. I can see the alif, right? And also if it was according to the position, if this was in nas, if this was the object, okay, I bought 12 books in French language. I bought 12 books. So then that in that case, the 12 books will be the object, the maf'ul, right? And the maf'ul will be in nasab state. Then what will I do? I will write isnai ashara then. Then the ya will be the sign of nasab. Okay. Is this point clear to all? So here I'm writing isna because this position, the position of this noun here will be, this number here will be mubtada muakhar, and we know mubtada is in rafa state. So we are writing isna here, and this will be mabniun ala fatha. Okay, that's it. You'll just write this ashara as mabniun ala fatha, and you will write this as the mubtada muakhar marfu bil alif. That is about the number. Then kitaban will be the tamyiz. Then you know all about this. B harf jar lughati is ism majrur wa huwa manut. Al firansiyati is naat, and this jar majrur will be the muta'alliq of the khabar. Will be the muta'alliq of the khabar. And next sentence, Ra'a Yusufu alayhi salam fil manami 11 stars. Okay, so Yusuf alayhi salam, in his dream, what did he see? Ra'a means to see. Yusuf alayhi salam saw in his dream, manami, in his sleep. Okay, manami, in his sleep, 11 stars. Okay, so how do we say that? Kaukaban. Yes, 11, how are we going to say it? Ahada ashara. 11 will match with the tamyiz, isn't it? Both the parts of this number 11, remember? Both the parts of number 11 and 12 will match with the tamyiz. That's why if you see here, isna ashara, the number 12 is mu'arab, but both the parts of it are matching with the what do you say? The tamyiz, isn't it? If it was a feminine tamyiz, 12 cars, what will you say? Is here in this place, instead of 12 books, if I have 12 cars, what will you say? Isnata isnata ashrata sayyaratan, isn't it? Isnata ashrata sayyaratan. Is it clear to all? Okay, so for the numbers 11 and 12, both the parts of the number will match with the tamyiz. So kaukab is muzakkar, so you will say ahada ashara kaukaban, 11 stars. And what is the position of this number here? Ahada ashara. So ra'a is what? It is a fail. This is fail madhi. Okay, just note it down because you have not the root word of this is ra, hamza, ya. And because there's a weak letter in it, you have not, it is the same way, the mazi conjugation will be the same way, fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, that you have learned. But because there is a weak letter, there will be some changes in the conjugation, which you will learn in detail as you proceed. In the Medina books, it is given very elaborately, very, in very, what do you say, detailed steps, which are very easy for the students to understand, extremely easy for the students to understand. Okay, so you'll learn that later, but for now, know the root word and what fail is this. This is fail madhi. Okay, this is fail madhi. So where is the file? If we have a fail, always we would look for the file, the doer. Who's the doer here? Who's the file here? Yusuf alayhi salam. And how do you know that this is the file? I translated the sentence not because of, don't tell me not because of that. Okay, in Arabic, when you look at a sentence, how do you know it is file? Very good. From the rafa state of the noun. This noun, the rafa state on this noun is showing that this is the file. Okay. Whenever after a verb you have a noun in rafa state, that would be the file. Alayhi salam, this is what will you say? This is jumla mu'tariza. This is a different type of jumla, so which comes in between. So you just write a jumla mu'tariza, but you will learn more details about it later, inshallah. That is something advanced, okay? Jumla mu'tariza is something which is not connected to the sentence. This is a dua which you say, after the Prophet's names, we say a dua, right? So whenever we say Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yes. So these type of things, this part is not related in any way to the sentence, isn't it? If you take this out also, the sentence is a complete sentence. It will not affect it in any way, okay? But this has its own grammatical analysis. So we'll just say it's Jumla mu'tariza, which comes, additionally, which is not related to the sentence. So we'll learn this later. Fil manami jar majroor. Okay. And in a jumla failure, if a jar majroor is coming, it will be muta'alliq of the fail. In jumla ismiya, the jar majroor will be muta'alliq of the khabar. In jumla failure, the jar majroor will be muta'alliq of whatever fail is there. What is a fail here? Ra'a fail, isn't it? Muta'alliq of ra'a. Okay. Remember the meaning of muta'alliq. Muta'alliq means related information. Now this, in his dream or in his sleep, it is about what? It is related information about the fail. Yusuf alayhi salam saw in his dream. Okay. So ahada ashara, what will be the position of ahada ashara here? What will be the position of ahada ashara? Mafulun bihi, right? What did he see? Yusuf alayhi salam saw 11 stars. Yes. What he saw, the object. This is the object, right? 11 stars is the object. So ahada ashara, the number will be what? Mafulun bihi. But how will you write the i'rab of it? Mafulun bihi. You know that the maf'ul, the object in Arabic language is always what? In which state? What will be the i'rab of the object? Nasab state, isn't it? Okay. So, but can you see the nasab state on ahada ashara? Because it is mabni, you cannot see, right? So how will you say the i'rab now? It is mafulun bihi. You know that it is in nasab state, but you cannot show that on a mabni ism, right? So how will you say that? Mabniun ala fatha fi mahalli nasbin. Very good. Fi mahalli nasbin, and kawkaban is the tamyiz. That's it. Tamyiz mansub bil fatha. You can write that. Mansub bil fatha. Is this clear to all, this sentence? Okay. So we will move on to the next one. Good. Fourth one is in the 20 riyalan. In the 20, I have 20 riyals. This is very easy. What will come? The number 20. Always it is only one word that is used. Jama, it is the pattern of Jama Muzakkar Salim, which is Ishruna. Very good. I have 20 riyals. Ishruna riyalan. In the Ishruna riyalan. Yes. Ishruna riyalan. Okay. So this word, if you see the analysis of this sentence, Indi is what? Zarf muta'alliq of the khabar mahzuf, isn't it? And ya mutakallim is the mudaf ilayhi, and ishruna will be what? What is the position of ishruna here in the sentence? You all have been doing these type of sentences from the beginning. Mubtada mu'akhar, right? Mubtada mu'akhar. And what will be the i'rab? How will you say the i'rab of this? Ishruna, what is, you know that it is mubtada, so the i'rab will be rafa. That is for sure. Okay, always the mubtada is always in rafa state. But in ishruna, what is the sign of rafa? The waw. Excellent, very good. Okay, so in ishruna, waw is a sign of rafa. You have the sign here, so you will say marfu bil waw. Okay, marfu bil waw. So indi is the zarf muta'alliq of the mahzuf khabar. Ishruna mubtada mu'akhar marfu bil waw. Riyalan is what? Tamyiz mansub bil fatha. Kam funduqan fi haza shari'i. How many hotels are there in this street? How many? So this is a question. So we'll just look at it one word by word. Okay, we don't have to look at the whole analysis. We'll learn it later. Kam is ismu istifham. Funduqan What will be funduqan? Why is it in nasab state? Tamyiz. Very good. Okay. The tamyiz of kam will be wahid, nakira, and mansub. You know, this fi is harjar, haza is ismul ishara, which is ismul majroor here, and ashari is the badal of this haza here. Okay, this is a question. So let's move on to the answer. Fihi 13 funduqan. Okay, there are 13 hotels in it. Okay, there are 13 hotels in it. So fihi, this he is referring to the street. It is referring to the street. In it means in the street. How many hotels are there? 13 hotels. So hotel funduqan is muzakkar, right? Funduqan. So how do we write the number? How do we write the number? Salasata. Correct? Very good. Salasata ashara funduqan. Fihi again jar majrur mutaalliq of the khabar mahzoof. And how will you say the position and the i'rab of this? Salasata ashara, how will you say? It is the mubtada muakhar. Yes, and mubtada muakhar mabniun ala fatha fi mahalli raf'in. Very good. Mubtada salasata ashara is what? Mubtada muakhar mabniun ala fatha. Then you will write fi mahalli raf'in. Okay. Funduqan tamyiz fi mahalli funduqan tamyiz mansub bil fatha. That's it. Fi hazihil madinati 14 masjidan. There are 14 masjids in this city, Medina. Okay, Madinati city. Right. There are 14 mosques in this city. Again, sentence is beginning with jar majroor. Okay, so 14, how will you say the number 14 here? Masjid is again muzakkar. So, salasata ashara masjidan. Okay, easy. So again, this is mubtada muakhar mabniun ala fatha fi mahalli raf'in, and masjidan will be the tamyiz. So it's all on the same pattern, the analysis. So I'm going on to the next sentence. Samanun means price. Okay. Samanu haza. What is the meaning? Hazal kitab means this book. Samanun means price. Okay. Price of this book is what? 17 riyal. Okay. The price of this book is 17 riyal. So how will I say riyal is muzakkar? So sab'ata ashara riyalan. Sab'ata ashara riyalan. Okay. Then what do you have? Samanu is mubtada. Okay. Haza is what? Samanu will be mubtada and mudaf. Okay. Price of this, isn't it? Haza will be mudaf ilayhi, and al-kitabi, it is the badal of haza. Can you see al-kitabi? Why is this in jar state? Why is this word in jar state? Because it is the badal of haza, isn't it? And haza is the mudaf ilayhi. So haza is in jar state. So that's why the badal is in jar state, right? Otherwise, why is it in jar state? There's no harf jar before it. Okay. And it is not, there's no mudaf also. We know that hazal kitab is muddal minhu and badal, right? So the only reason that this is in jar state that we know of is that haza is the mudaf ilayhi. So it is in jar state. So its badal is also in jar state. Okay. Then sabata ashara will be the khabar. This will be the khabar here. But still you will say khabar, you know, always it is marfu. So you will say mabniun ala fatha fi mahalli raf'in. Okay. Sabata ashara is the khabar, mabniun ala fatha fi mahalli raf'in. Riyalan is the tamyiz mansub bil fatha. Fi hazal kitabi 20 darsan, 20 lessons. There are 20 lessons in this book. So again, ishruna darsan. So the same way, sentence is beginning with jar majroor, mutaalliq of the khabar mahzoof, and this ishruna will be the mubtada muakhar marfu bil wow. Okay, darsan is the tamyiz. Fis sanati, in the year there are 12 months in the year. Shahran is what? Months. So there are 12 months in the year. How will you say that? 12. Shahran is muzakkar, right? So again, you have to be careful with the number 12. So again, see the position of the number first, because in the number 12, the first part is Mu'rab. So you have to look at the position and then give the i'rab. What is the position of this number here? Mubtada mu'akhar, right? So mubtada means it will be marfu. So I will write isna, isn't it? Okay. So based on the position, write the number 12 accordingly. Isna ashara shahran. So isna will be what? The first part of the number isna will be mubtada mu'akhar. Marfu bil alif. Ashara will be mabniun ala fatha. That's it. And shahran will be the tamyiz. So with that, we completed the exercise. And now exercise number 10. Exercise number 10 is just about the ordinal numbers. There are the cardinal and ordinal numbers. Cardinal numbers are the wahid, tasniya, salasa, okay? Arba, khamsa, sitta, the 1, 2, 3 numbers that we count, isn't it? Those are the cardinal numbers. We know that in English. And these are the ordinal numbers, which we say the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. You know, we give the ranks or the order. Those numbers are called ordinal numbers, and they have a different pattern in the Arabic language. Like al-awwal is the first, as-sani is the second, okay, as-salis third, and al-rabia fourth. So like this, darsul khamis, the fifth lesson, darsul sadis is the sixth lesson, darsul sabia, seventh lesson, darsul samin, eighth lesson, and darsul tasya, ninth lesson. Darsul ashir is the 10th lesson. Okay. So these are the ordinal numbers. How do you remember without getting confused? You remember the cardinal and ordinal numbers, right? You have two types of numbers that you will remember. The only place where we get confused sometimes is what? Which one is what? We remember wahid, tasniya, salas. We remember all the numbers. Awwal, asani, everything we'll remember. We'll forget which one, what is the name for which one. Yes. So how to remember? I remember, like, this word order means when you put things in order, right? 1, 2, the first thing, second thing, third thing. So like that, you can remember as ordinal numbers. Order, putting numbers in order, first, second, third, you can remember ordinal numbers. Okay. So might be that is a silly clue, but that's how I remember. So might be it'll help you all. Okay. Right. So next, exercise number 11. Okay. Qualify each of the following nouns with the ordinal number derived from the number appearing before it. Okay. So they have given you the blank here. You have to fill in the blank using the number given here. Okay. And you're going to use the ordinal numbers, right? So what is the first one? Can you all tell me? Al-yawmu dash. The eighth day. How will you say the 8th day? Al-yawmu saminu. Correct? Al-yawmu saminu. As-saminu. Okay. Next, at-talibu dash. You have to say the third student. How will you say the third student? Remember, how do we say the numbers of the lesson? Ad-darsu salis, ad-darsu rabi'a, the fourth lesson, the third lesson. Can you all see? It's the same way. Okay. And this is what? Manut and Nath, isn't it? The numbers coming like this will be Manut and Nath. Okay. Right. How will you write here? At-talibu as salisu. Okay. Next, ad-darsul ashiru, isn't it? Al-ashiru. As-safhat, the 10th lesson now. As-safhatu dash. The 9th. Very good. The 9th page. How will you say safhatu? The 9th page. At-tasiyu, isn't it? At-tasiyu. As-safhatu at-tasiyu. Al-juz'u dash. The first juz. How will you say the first juz? Al-awwal. Easy. Al-awwalu. Al-juz'u al-awwalu. Okay. Fis-sanati dash. You have to say the fourth in the 4th year. So how will you say? Fis-sanatil Rabia, isn't it? Rabiati. Yes, because this word as-sanati is what? Muannas. So ar-rabi'u, you will make it muannas because this is going to be the naat of this man'ut, isn't it? So all these okay, here one more small correction here we need to do. It'll be at-tasi'atu, right? Why? Because safhatu is muannas, isn't it? So at-tasi'atu. Okay, as-safhatu at-tasi'atu. Next, at-talibatu dash. You have to say the sixth student. As-sadisatu, isn't it? As-sadisatu. Sixth student. Al-bayt dash. The seventh house. How do we say that? The seventh house. Al-baytu as-sabiu, isn't it? Okay, seventh house. Al-ghurfatu dash. You have to say the fifth house, the fifth room. Al-ghurfatu dash, the fifth room. How will you say al-ghurfatu? Al-khamisu or khamisatu? Khamisatu, isn't it? Okay, the fifth room. Keep saying when you're writing, try to say it out a little bit louder so that you can hear it. You should be able to hear it. Okay, not too loud, not too softly. Just say it so that you can hear it. Okay, this way the words will be registered in your mind. Inshallah, when you read it next time, you will know, oh, this is the pattern I learned. This is about the cardinal and ordinal numbers, all these things. Okay, al-juz'u dash, the second juz. Al-juz'us sani. Okay, so you can always go back and refer to your numbers, cardinal and ordinal numbers, so that you remember what is the pattern on which they are written. Okay, so here they have given a small note here after the exercise. Al-awwal, the number one, the first. You say no, al-awwal means the first. Okay, the muannasuhu means the feminine of this word. Al-awwal is muzakkar, right? The feminine of this word is what? Al-ula. See? They have given the feminine of this. For the other things, we will add, for the eighth, you will say as-saminu. Then the feminine, if you have to write as-saminatu, as-salisu, as-salisatu. But how will you write the feminine of the number one? Al-awwalu. Its feminine will be al-ula. If you have to say the first female student, then it will be at-talibatul ula. Okay? If it is just a male student, boy, you will say at-talibul awwalu, the first student. And if it's feminine, at-talibatul ula. Naqulu, we say at-talibul awwalu. Okay, the same example is given here. I didn't see this. Wat-talibatul ula. So this is the difference. Okay? Alhamdulillah. So then we have the next exercise. This is an interesting exercise, but for this we need to have the teacher and the student in front of each other. So like a live class. So let's see what we have here, but we cannot apply it. But at least we can go through and answer one time at least. Okay. So what do we have to do here? The teacher asks every student a question containing alaysa. Alaysa means isn't it, like that. Okay. Alaysa kazalik means isn't it so? And the student replies bala. Okay. So anta minal Hindi, are you from India? Alaysa kazalik, isn't that so? What will you say? For me it's bala. For me it's bala, of course, but for you all it might not be, but still you have to say bala. Okay, bala, of course. Okay. Okay. So anta maridun, are you sick? Alaysa kazalik, isn't it so? Now this is not the case for all of us, alhamdulillah, but still here, just for the sake of practicing, let's say bala. Okay. Bala ana maridun. Okay. All right, so that was the exercise. Next, the 13th exercise, the last exercise. Again, this is also an exercise which has to be done in the classroom in a live environment. So the teacher asks every student a question containing ayyuhuma ajmalu. Which of the two is beautiful or which of the two students is taller. Okay, so like this, you have to point out and ask, which is not in a classroom environment. So, so with that, we completed the exercises. Okay, so al-kalimatul jadida, new words. Then you have the points to remember, which is, we'll just quickly go through. This is about the comparative and superlative degrees. And we know all these stories because we have seen very clearly and understood very clearly about Ismut Tafdeel, which is now an easy topic for you all. As I can see, mashallah, you all have answered the questions which I asked you in the exercises very well. So it seems you have practiced well and have a good understanding of it. So, so this is the Ismu Tafdeel, which is on the pattern of af'alu, if it is muzakkar. And if it comes with min, then it comes with in the meaning of comparative. Okay. And then if the Ismu Tafdeel pattern comes as mudaf, then it will be it will come in the meaning of superlative. Okay. And then you have the second point, which is about lakinna, which is the sister of inna. Okay, so you will have a ism after the lakinna, which will be in nasab state, and you will have a khabar of lakinna. And the meaning of lakinna is what? But. Okay. So here you have Bilalun mujtahidun walakinna Hamidan kaslanu. Bilal is hardworking, but Hamid is lazy. So like this, you have the exercises here. Here, Hamid is ism zahir, and here they have used a pronoun with lakinna. So again, this is the ismu inna. The ya mutakallim is ismu inna. Okay. Akhi mutazawwijun. My brother is married. Walakinni azabun. But I am a bachelor, right? Azabun means not married, bachelor. Okay, so you can see here lakinna is coming. So ya mutakallim will be ismu inna, azabun will be khabru inna. That's it. Again, the third point is about ka'anna, which is again the sister of inna. So you will have an ism after it and a khabar after it. Okay, so ka'annal imama maridun. It looks as if the imam is sick. So imama is here in nasab state, which is ismu ka'anna, and khabru ka'anna is maridun. So like this you have. So here again, imama is ism zahir, and here in the next example, you have the domir coming in the place of ismu ka'anna. Okay, man hazal fatatu, who is this young girl? Remember, fatatu means young girl. Ka'annaha ukhtuka. It looks as if she's your sister. It looks as if she's your sister. So ka'anna is coming. After that, you have an ism which is in nasab state. In this case, it is the domir ha, which is the ismu ka'anna. Ukhtu is the khabru ka'anna, and mudaf ka is mudaf ilayhi. So ka'anna haza sayyarata lahu. It looks as if this car belongs to him. Ka'annaka minal hindi. You seem to be from India. Okay, you all can tell me. Ka'annaki minal Hind. You seem to be from India. Bala, of course, yes. Okay. Then the numbers from 11 to 20, we learned about the other than madud, they come as a compound murakkab. And for 11 and 12, they match, both the parts match with the tamiz. And the tamiz of the numbers 11 to 20 is wahid, nakira, mansoob. We know the rules about it. So 3 categories we divided them into, that is the numbers 11 and 12, the numbers then 13 to 19. Okay, and the number 20 was learned separately. So these are the things about numbers. So with that, we have the numbers done, and then we saw the 5th point is about the ordinal numbers, right? The difference between the cardinal and the ordinal numbers that we have seen. These the ordinal numbers that we saw, the awwal, as-salisu, rabiu, all these numbers are what are on the pattern of fa'ilun. Okay, they are on the pattern of fa'ilun. Okay, so that's why can you see salisu, except for the awwal. Okay, awwal and asani. Asani is also on the pattern of fa'il, but awwalu is different. So as-salis is what? Rabiu, Khamis, and Sadis are all, these are all on the pattern of file. Okay, so this is one clue for you all. You can just highlight it. Okay, and then the Asani, how it is formed from, actually it was actually the Sanin, the word was Sanin. From this, if you see this word Sanin, this actually originated from Saniyun. The word was actually what? Saniyun. From this, this word sanin has been formed. So have we learned about ghalin before? I don't think so. We have learned about ghalin. Did we? Ghaliyun. How did it become ghalin? It was ghaliyun in Rafa, Nasab and Jar state. Then because Dhamma is heavy on Ya, we removed it. Do you all remember? Yes? Ghaliyun. So the ghaliyun, I'll open and write like this. Ghaliyun. Okay. So the Ya, a Dhamma on the Ya is heavy. So we remove the Dhamma. And two sakins are there. So we remove the Ya. What are we left with now? Ghalin. So this is how Saniyun, from Saniyun, again Sanin was formed. So that's how you have a Sani. And next sixth point is Alaysa Kazalik. So isn't it so? So the answer will be Bala. Okay. So we'll learn more about this word Bala. Bala means of course, but we'll learn more about it in lesson 6. Okay. And seventh one is ayyuhuma, means which of the two. Ayyu, you know, it is a noun which always comes as mudaf, and this noun is ismu istifham. Okay. So you can see the examples given here. And then eighth point is about two broken. They have given two patterns of broken plurals. That is mafa'ilu and mafa'ilu. See, what were the words that came in your lesson on the pattern of mafa'ilu? Fanadiku. Mafa'ilu, fanajinu, cups. Finjanun, the finjanun is the singular, a cup. Fanajinu is a plural of finjan, cups. Okay, fanadiqu is what? Hotels. So these are the patterns of broken plurals. Jama taksir, you know that there are many patterns of broken plurals. You will learn slowly, gradually. Okay, so here in this lesson you are learning two patterns, and these two patterns are also ghair munsarif, as you can see. Okay. And also they are called muntahal jumu, that is the end of the jama. Okay, there is no jama after it, because for some plural words you have the plural of the plural. Okay, so but for these words this is the end of the plural, so these are also called muntahal jumu. Okay, alhamdulillah, with that we have finished our lesson 3. Alhamdulillah, I hope you all enjoyed the lesson. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.